And welcome back to Vida Baseball and being Guillén. We are here with the Guillén family, and crazy Adela is joining us.
Come here, Adela. Vente.
So, welcome, guys. How was your week?
My week was great. I just flew down here. I think there's a big accident on I-55. So whoever on there, obviously crazy times. I just want everybody to be safe. But there's a big accident on I-55.
That was the delay.
That's your week? The week was great, man. It has been pretty good. I've been with my baby. I moved to Le Mans.
My dad officially moved to the suburbs, and I officially shot in '83.
So good week for you guys. But let's show it to the people here on Being Guillén. We always have this segment, one of our favorite ones, doing it for the gram. And in the first one of doing it for the gram, let's see what we got in store for the fans.
That's my friend from Ocho y Más, Bobby Allende, Marquiñones. Ahí. There we go. You run.
Okay.
No. But by the way, I saw this show live, and no idea what Chuck Garfield's is doing.
So I wasn't as excited about Ozzy dancing because I know he can dance. You were going crazy like he had done, like Walk to the Moon. My boy Chuck Garfield.
Like no idea what he's doing. I'm sure Liz enjoyed those moves.
I'm saying, like, if you don't know how to dance, live in a box.
Of course. And you know what? And he didn't live in a box. And by the Sox have this thing when they win, they dance for dubs.
So I just
they haven't done a lot.
What's the dub? What's
Not
the
they win. Not dubs shred.
Oh, dub. Okay, I think like
When you win, you dance for dubs. Meaning, if you win, you dance for the victory.
whatever. Yeah.
So I just tweeted earlier before the show. I said the White Sox are 95. There's a 95% chance that the White Sox will dance after they win. Marshmallow Analytics. Because today they announced that the second pitcher of the doubleheader is going to be a bullpen day. Why not just call it a starter and then whatever happens afterwards? If Giolito gets rocked around in the first game and in the second he's pulled out, guess what? It's called a bullpen day.
You know what? They have been. There's two teams in town, and the Cubs are 12-3. They've done unbelievable. The Sox are 500. Basically. So
in and off. About watching the White Sox every day, it seems like sometimes they click, sometimes they don't. I think with the White Sox, every time they turn into this offense. We always talk about offense, because we know they got a great offense. But I think pitching and defense is very important. Every time they pitch well and they play better defense, the team is okay. But
are you? They're supposed to do a doubleheader tomorrow because one of the coaches tested positive for COVID. You know what? I think it doesn't matter what happens in the season. I think some teams are going to play 40 games. Yeah, they're going to play 47. Some teams are going to play 60. That's the way it's going to be.
Well, my question is, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Well, my question is, when the Marlins got the COVID, everybody around baseball, he just all over them. Like
no one said
if you guys want to get into that, let's finish the Graham segment and we'll jump into that because I was informed of some stuff yesterday on how the Major League Baseball rules work, and I want people to know. So the next one for the Graham is let's see what we got in store for doing it for the Graham. Oh God! What a
wow!
Jesus. Talk about a bad angle.
You know what? That picture we weren't posing for it, so it got taken very very candid. I was doing the game on Game Changer. Ozzy was on third, and Ozzy is our manager.
So I look like a manager.
Yes.
Manager.
Yeah.
No, you don't look like Cobbler.
There's not many people do. There's only one. There's about only 1% of the guys that are in shape. I can go. Ron Gardenhire.
Yeah.
Guess what? Fat, don't get heart attacks, don't end in the hospital. There's a lot of skinny managers out there that end up.
Right now they have Cabo.
I'm just saying. So my
partner, they might think
we play in this men's league, and Ozzy is gonna let us. He's gonna join.
Talk about bad offenses.
Yeah, he's gonna let us.
Or the Cleveland Indians of baseball.
He's gonna let us finish out the season. It's always great not only to still play baseball, but it's even better if you can enjoy it with
I love
your
it.
brothers.
I love it. It's the only way that
By the way, I'm gonna take Carla to take that picture. He sent it to me, and I put something on Twitter. It's nice to see my three kids together because we never see them together, different world, different cities, and see them together.
Yeah,
that's part of this picture was people commenting, why is your son so fat? And it's called easy. It's called eating.
Yeah. So we play the men's league. I'm married now officially.
The next, it's okay. So he's talking about marriage. Let's see the next picture from doing it for the gram.
Oh God.
It was going to be a surprise, but let's see what we got. The last final pick for doing it for the gram.
Wow.
So this is officially.
This is no filters.
No filters. My aunt, my cousin were here for your wedding. Asne's still not married yet, but it's just a piece of paper. So this is everyone in the family for this picture. So Oni's hitched finally. So congratulations. Welcome to the club.
Yeah. So I married Carla officially in a nice little pride ceremony on North Avenue. And this was the day after at a friend Ray's house. Great party. He had a whiskey and bourbon party. I don't feel any different aside for wearing this piece of metal, other than the fact that we look really, 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 really good. I mean, isn't it what it's all about? It's all about, you know, one of the things on me and Guillén that we all talked about, even when the riots were going on, it's all about family, and that's Adela Klein because she wants to stay down here. We are all about family, and one thing that our dad has taught us is, you know, you have to spend as most time that you can. There's another picture with your family, and we don't have Ozzy around all the time here in Chicago.
Listen,
so
he only comes in for family and
now the Browns
and Browns.
Yeah.
He has been.
I'm paying for flights. He'll be here.
Oh my God!
He won't even have a game on Friday, so we'll play 2 on Saturday, hopefully.
So again, that's the Guillén family. A lot was happening this week. A lot was happening in baseball, and I don't have it on the first topic, and it's going to be one topic leading to the next. Athletics. Ramon Laureano gets a 4-game suspension. We have just been told. And our friend, no need to hide it, Alex Cintron only gets 20 games. I'm actually surprised that Alex is only getting 20 games. I thought that Major League Baseball would lose it. I know fans are not happy. The Astros kind of get away with another thing. But this is a situation that they're in, not only COVID, but they're not playing around. But Major League Baseball needs to realize, are you going to play around with this COVID thing or not? Because you're giving suspension, you don't guys want to fight, but then you don't implement a face mask rule for everybody. And then the dumbest one that you guys are doing, everyone's jumping on this young man, Plesac, and Mike Clevenger, because they were out.
Is he related to Dan Plesac?
That's
his son?
Cousin. No, nephew.
Okay, but here's the thing. Regardless of, so here's the part. Major League Baseball won't let you go out on the road. But when you're at home, you can do whatever you want. So the Miami Marlins can be going out eating. Can be going out eating, doing anything. But then if they come to Chicago, they can't leave their hotel rooms. So if you're a teammate and you're critiquing him, unless you have everybody go get your food and you're living in a bubble, you can't critique them. So again, another point of Major League Baseball jumping on somebody and the fans jumping on 2 guys when your rules make no sense.
You know what?
No sense.
I have been very avid, a new word for you. Major League Baseball, I know they're trying to do their best that they can.
That's their best, but it's not very good.
But they have failed in so many ways, because now you're hearing about people thought these rules implemented when they're home.
I thought these rules.
I know people on the Sox personally. When they're home, I know a guy that went out to eat last night.
I got 15 text messages that there was players eating at certain restaurants in the city of Chicago.
Exactly, and that's the way that Major League Baseball is doing it. So when you're home, you can go eat at Gibson's, but when you're on the road, you're not supposed to.
To you.
Exactly, you bring Gibson's to yourself, which is weird because Corona.
Okay, so
I'm not very up to date with this.
So New York is safer than anybody. But you can't eat in New York, but you can go eat in the Marlins. The Marlins right now, people.
Well, apparently I guess the Marlins wish they've had Corona for the last 10 years.
No, that's their story. That's called death.
They are on fire.
They have a good minor league system. They bring everybody out.
Don Mattingly looks like a genius. He's had guys. Miguel Rojas isn't even playing. He's tweeting a lot. The Marlins are doing very well right now. Will it last? We don't know. But if the playoffs ended today, if the fish are in, the Sox are not. So, you know, anything can happen. This is one of the things that we've preached and we've talked about this, that any team can go out there and they think they have a chance.
So who's the biggest surprise then for you?
That would be, to me, the Marlins and the Rockies.
The Tigers for me.
But, yeah, I mean, I've seen, obviously not the Royals, but I've seen the Marlins play and I've seen the Rockies play. And Nolan Arenado right now is playing like a man that got an extension. Charlie Blackmon's almost, they're going to say, obviously I'm not going to give it as much credit as, you know, Ted Williams if he hits 400, but he's hitting 500 right now. He's on fire. There's good things to take about the season, and there are teams that are taking this very, very seriously.
Who's the least surprising team?
To me, the least surprising team to be up.
I'm surprised
with last play. I'm very surprised with Detroit Tigers without Miguel Cabrera hitting the way he's hit.
Yeah, he's hitting okay.
They're still in the ball in the group, and obviously I don't think I'm watching these games every day. I don't think this is the best division in the game.
The AL Central.
Anything can happen. Anything, because
one day you're going to be fifth, the next day you're going to be second. Well, notice how we said second, because the Minnesota Twins are going to stay in first all year.
I think
why
they got good. But
why? Because they are a good team, and it shows that last year wasn't any fluke. Even Donaldson went down. They just got Ildemaro Vargas, and we have a cousin on the team. The Twins are the cream of the crop
in that division. I'm not surprised about the Cubs. Everyone was making fun of me.
You know what? I didn't know what David Ross was gonna be, but holy cow!
My new favorite manager.
And you saw him argue yesterday with the mask.
No, I'm just saying.
He said the right thing. By the way,
he's like, "You're better. You do better."
By the way, I wasn't the one when they hired him. Like, oh my God, from Joe Madden to Ross, I was wrong like 99.9% besides the GMs and the vice president. This guy, know what he does on the field with the players. I think what he say, what he talk about it, what he mean with the team, what he brings to the ball club.
The word in English is awesome. He gets it. When he's on the field, you're like, he's the manager. The Cubs, for some reason, Joe Maddon's still great. They needed new blood, and they recognized that, and they brought a guy who made one thing important. The Cubs play as the Cubs. No more bias. The name on the jersey does not matter right now. They're playing as a team.
The Cubs are the best team in baseball, and they're doing it with a shaky bullpen.
Shaky? You call that shaky?
Yeah, they're very bad bullpen. So, it goes to show you sometimes how managers are so important, because they pump new blood. This is basically the same team Joe Maddon had, and they were just.
But I think that
they were tired of the act. And now David Ross comes. Javier Baez looks like, if he's not, he's top 5 players in MLB.
Correct.
Maybe he is top. To me, he might be not the best player in the game. To me, he's not the best player in the game, but he's the only few player I will pay
to go watch. Yeah. And I love the quote that he had. Because Lindor's going to be a free agent, and he basically said, Francisco Lindor is the best shortstop. Him and Lindor grew up together. He's the best shortstop of our generation. But I'm El Mago. He buys it. Rizzo buys it. They all buy in to David Ross. And right now, they are dangerous because they don't believe in anybody.
So I want to say something. So in this talks about Plesac, Clevenger, what Laureano did, what people are doing individually. In the game of baseball, we reward now individuality. Okay? The player is more important than the team. I don't care what anybody says. That's the way the game is. Because when you bat flip, you're putting your other teams at risk. If you don't think that, you're not a baseball person. You're just a regular fan. Sorry, my opinion. I have a good one to give. So why are we so surprised when guys do things that benefit them and not the team? So everything from analytics, the bunt is for the team. Moving the runner over is for the team. So when I look at the Cubs, they're playing more as a team.
Because no one really jumps
And that's
out.
what I'm saying. That's why the Marlins are playing as a team because their team's not that good. But I see a lot of really good teams with a lot of talent that don't play as a team.
The Sox.
You look at them on paper, you're like,
They're unbelievable.
Their talent is, and I'm one of the guys. This is, and he's gotten critiqued because he's been playing with nags, and that's when you say, how hurt are you to be on the field for your team? So I think right now a story in baseball is everyone's getting on Clevenger and Plesac because they're not team players.
Well,
it's like, you know what?
And that's one of the
They're
things.
being themselves.
I know Terry Francona just came. He came back and he's like, I'm going to do this. I think I have to applaud the Cleveland Indians because of what they did. As soon as they heard someone breaking protocol, those are two very.
I don't think those Indians.
Right. Okay,
I mean, Major League Baseball.
those guys are Clevenger and Plesac. They're very, very good.
By the way, if they make the mistake of trading those guys,
oh my God! Anybody, those guys are studs.
I give up the.
By the way, right now, I'm not thinking right now, this particular day, I'm not trading those guys. But
I want to trade them.
in the end of the season, not what they just did. One of those guys had to be traded to bring players to the Indians because I see them every day.
They have a very bad offense. They have a very bad offense. They can pitch 1 through 12. They are unbelievable at pitching. So, do I think the Indians will be there when the playoff comes? Because this year's 16 teams. Yes. Will they do anything in the playoffs? Probably not, because they don't have enough.
So the next topic comes back to this, the individuality. So it was funny because a lot of people were out there did not know why the Nick Swisher Ozzy situation. You were trending, meaning you're all over Twitter again. I'm gonna give you guys some background on the story. I was friends with Nick Swisher off the field. So personally,
meaning
we hung out. I went to barbecues at his house. We were cool. And I think if I see Nick today, I'd still say hi.
Absolutely.
We would be very cool. The reason that, and I'm looking at it now from off the thing, the reason that Nick was having problems in the White Sox clubhouse, specifically the manager, was because Nick would do things that benefit Nick and not the team. So if Nick played in today's White Sox,
it'd probably be amazing.
Perfect. There was a guy, I don't know who, because I still can't figure out the player. He was wearing a T-shirt.
Larry Garcia.
T-shirt.
And Jose Abreu.
Gym shoes during the game. And somebody goes, hey, Boomer, take it easy. What are you going to get mad when guys do this and this? So I got called old. And I said, in my head, I said, man, the reason that Swisher and Ozzy had problems and other players in the team was because of stuff like this.
No, you know what? I think I applaud my dad because he was honest with his feelings, and him and Nick never had a problem.
They
never had a problem.
No.
But anybody that was around the team and guys.
By the way,
same
his
guy.
teammates, I don't know how many percent.
They would say the same
They
thing.
have more problems with Nick than me.
Meaning, it was a tough year for him. He came to a new city. He was a free agent.
Fans, when they were mad at him?
Of course.
Okay, I want to explain something. You guys know why Nick Swisher was with the White Sox? And he was the leadoff?
You got traded.
Guess what, people? The thing is, this guy's an idiot and wouldn't market it. It's called analytics.
Of course.
The reason he's a leadoff guy is because they said, hey, who's a guy that gets on base a lot and probably can play center field?
If anybody remembers that
And it
season,
didn't work.
Dwayne Wise took Nick's everyday spot.
You know
So
what?
that's the thing is he didn't do that great. So his personality wasn't as bubbly or as friendly when he wasn't doing great. And that's what led to my dad's comment about, oh, this guy's fake. He's not about the team. And, he went to the Yankees and then they won a championship. But at that time with the Sox, he was not.
But look. Okay, at that time when the White Sox, Nick Swisher was batting first instead of with the Yankees was batting 9. And nobody cared about you.
No, correct.
Okay, and it was our fault because I really don't want to put him lead off, but they kind of like.
They force it on you.
All of a sudden they go, well, this guy is 3-2 but a 3-2 next pitch,
My dad hates. My dad hates. They were talking about he always takes a lot of pitches. I was like, well, he's like, it doesn't do him any good when he's out.
Yeah, they got a pitch, but the next pitch.
Well, this is when people are talking about analytics. The reason he came over, and again, there's managers out there right now in Twitter, and I retweeted Scott Merkin. I said, why are you telling the opponent it's a bullpen day? Just name the starting pitcher, and whenever that guy's done, bring the next guy. No, I'm saying that you cannot say like if Giolito or any starter gets rocked in the first inning, guess what? It's a bullpen day. Now it's about buzzwords and like switching. A scout told me that. He said, Ozzy, the reason Swish did not work for the White Sox was you guys traded for a corner outfielder, 7th or 8th hitter, and you guys made him a center fielder leadoff guy. And I said, what? You're right. If you grab any player in baseball, any player, except maybe 10 guys, and you switch them from teams, and you put them in a different setup. Roles are different. Roles are different. And you put they put you hitting third in the 93 White Sox, you would be hated across Chicago. Of course. They would say this guy's not good enough. So,
and you know what? And it was great. It was great TV. And those are the things that it goes to show you where you hit the lineup, what your expectations are of you are a big deal. So, and by the way, everyone here likes Nick Swisher as far as like, he's a great guy.
As a human being, issues-wise, people like making he went trending. I can name about the great guys. No. I'm saying the players that I hate personally. The list is a lot longer. But I'm talking about being in the office. I don't remember Ozzy calling Swisher into the office one time. I'm going to tell you guys right now. Fan favorite, Brzezinski was in the office
all the time,
every 2 weeks.
And my dad personally never had a problem. Him and Nick never had an altercation. I think he's had problems with more like Duque or whatever.
Even Freddie Garcia.
Even Freddie, who married into the family.
I think the best altercation is who's actually a really good friend of ours, which means that we actually see him after retirement. Garland.
Yeah.
My dad and Garland. My dad and John Garland had many moments, not only on the mound but inside the dugout. You know, Garland not only being one of the best league guys the Sox have ever had, but they've had.
I think that's the competitiveness, and I feel like now this world of baseball, they're worried about like, is this guy holding their hand?
Right, but what I think the reason that my dad still has a good relationship with those guys because is that it was left there. Like, you know, you address it, it happens, and anybody that would tell you that was on those teams,
and it was good for Swish and Ozzy. They were both trending.
Yeah, it was great.
Meaning you're like popular on Twitter. Like
you're on Twitter.
People were making such a big deal about that. And I really don't know what people.
Well, not only are you
do people think that everyone right now, David Ross, maybe everybody likes him because he just started managing that team. But even I'll give you a new manager. Even Booney right now. There's somebody in the Yankees says, I'm not a fan of Booney.
Of course.
Players always, when you're in the dugout and you go up on a clubhouse.
Who's the manager that you hated the most playing for?
I play for everyone. I said
for Gossi?
No. The one playing for Larry Rothschild.
There you go. And Larry Rothschild.
I never respect him. I always talk to him. I still talking to him.
But you
wait. No, I'm sorry. I take it back. No, Larry Rothschild.
The guy from
Ray Miller. But that's not Miller.
But you know why though? Because you didn't like the way.
No, the roster situation.
Exactly.
You didn't like the way. You're 6 shortstops.
No, but the funny thing about it, I don't like it because he got me. I don't like it because I don't think he did a good job. I mean, it was my people. We against everybody.
But you know why?
You didn't like the way.
Let me explain. No, but here's another part. The reason that people knock on you, like the Jim Thome situation, is the reason that you don't like Ray Miller because you didn't want to put yourself in saying, I'm not going to release somebody or I'm not going to make a trade. A guy that I respect.
Yeah, because my dad
because you were like, I'm not. It's like when we saw
he gets criticized. My dad gets criticized because of the Mark Hotsays and the Andrew Jones because he didn't want to be in an uncomfortable situation with Jim.
When he's not being
because Jim Thome is a Hall of Famer. Jim Thome is an unbelievable person. You were honest with him. And you were like, you know what? I'm not going to do this to this guy.
Okay.
And then people still to this day, they took Twitter like, oh, you don't want to.
Let me explain to the people out there, okay? They show me, the White Sox show me, they got 12 guys to pick. It's a DH. 12. No 3, no 4. Damon was one.
Johnny Damon.
It was one. And I remember saying, out of the 12 guys, I take this one, Jim Thome.
Yeah,
I swear for God. The White Sox play around. They're like, they say, Ozzy no want it. No, but they no show one. I said, I want. You know why? No, why? Because I said, I cannot give Jim Thome a bat he has to have. And I'm not going to be the guy to see Jim Tomey in the clubhouse and
So you're not playing for 3 days.
Jim Tomey didn't play in 4 days. When this man prepared himself to play every single day to be Jim Tomey.
Well, that's the reason people don't realize that why moves are made.
That is another reason why Jim has such a great relationship with us and my dad, because he appreciated.
Oh, I told him. Of course, I say
the fact that my dad was able to express himself and say,
like right now in the Yankees, you don't think right now that Aaron has a hard time with so much talent and having not to play guys?
Yeah, it's very.
It's really, you have to have respect, because when you bring a big name guy, that's why moves are made and not made, because you're taking someone out of the roster.
Even guys like he talks about on his post-game show. You bring guys like Adam Dunn. I think one of the main, and I will tell you, even a guy like Swisher, they always respected my dad because of they would always know where you stand.
It happens right now. A Brady, they're having a hard time. They don't tell him and say, hey, take a day off, and say take a day off, or you're not hitting third.
Exactly.
I said like Tim Anderson, like, and why? And I feel bad for Ricky and any manager. Why? The guy's a bad. How does this conversation go? You're not the leadoff. Why? We don't think you're good. I'm the batting champion. How does that conversation happen? And when he's in the lineup and he's winning me over because that team plays way better, and I'm like, maybe he is the leadoff. But like in analytics, you're like, you're not the leadoff. Why?
He doesn't walk.
You don't walk. You don't do this. I'm the batting champion. You're like, oh well, you're the leadoff.
Exactly. So it's very
things that people don't judge managers.
And that is why managers are very important, because that's what they got to do. Because there's guys in the
your boy. But this guy, when you work for the White Sox post-game show, you say marriage is not important anymore.
Oh, that's Ron G. There's a whole school.
Herb Lawrence.
There's a whole school on Twitter. No, but even this.
That's what managing is.
By the way, you don't think Ted Krimber right now and Ross?
Oh God,
that's your boy, and he's not closing. They're not winning. But I'm saying, you know how hard a time he has to say, no, because you believe in that guy. You knew that guy was amazing, and you're hoping that he finds it again. Because it's so. I'm gonna tell you guys this: it's so much harder to turn down a guy who's done it before in the big leagues than a kid who just came up. If a kid just came up and he plays bad, you're like, he doesn't have it. But if a guy has a history of playing well, you're like, oh, you give him the benefit of the doubt. So I think that, especially now, I think that the teams that are going to win are teams that go back to the team aspect, playing as a team, making those at-bats, the sacrificial at-bats, knowing when to sit down, knowing when to play, because I really believe that this pure talent, individuality.
People out there, you guys don't know. Managing isn't making a lineup. It is about having 25 guys plus clubbies plus trainers all buy into your BS.
About plus fans, plus media,
exactly.
Plus the owner.
Yes.
You know what?
So that is how can you keep everyone happy? Ozzy manages the men's league.
No.
He's trying to get guys back.
It's
the same thing. When you. It's not easy to keep everyone happy. Like, hey, man, I haven't had him at
Well, I'm going to say this right
2
now.
or 3 days.
Fans will never be happy. At 36 years old, I especially now with social media, they can get mad at me. They think they know more than the people that are in there. They really do. You can make fans happy.
Well, and
everybody has an opinion.
And you know what? Chicago, not only that, because everyone's watching the games. I think my dad's got more famous now. He's on the post-game and pregame. There's a lot of things riding on this season. 16 teams make the playoffs. Everyone's watching, but social media wasn't around when my dad was managing.
Thank God.
It wasn't around back then. And you did well. And there's still people out there like, oh my God, everyone.
So there's a list. So there's a list. There's a list of guys that you cannot attack. Anytime Mendick, Engel, Bizarra, Larry.
Well, I'll attack Mazzaro.
I'm just saying, they brought him, but I'm saying, Mendick. I'm saying Mendick, Collins. These guys are they're there to help.
Dylan Cease is a big friend of the family. I know these two guys are very happy to watch him do well.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I don't hate. But he gave up. There was only one earned. But I'm saying, there's guys here like Danny Mendick. If he doesn't hit, I'm not get him out of the. I'm right. It's hit. He needs to hit.
And my good friend Nicky Delmonico's. He got sent back.
But I'm saying, Nicky, when Nicky's out there, I'm just catch the ball. There's players out there that when you make the lineup, you're like, man, if this guy gets a hit today,
it's a plus.
It's a plus. So that's what people don't realize. And you're if you're worried about the 10th guy off the bench or the replacement player not doing well, your team's not good.
Chicago is if it was tough back then, it's even tougher now because not only is everyone watching, everyone has an opinion, and there's Twitter and there's Facebook and there's everything. Chicago's a tough town to manage. Very, very tough town. Has the media's gotten a little more lenient?
Softer. They're soft as Charlotte.
Exactly.
Can I say my way? Very weak.
No, they're soft as Charlotte.
Yeah, they're very weak as far as things go.
Lose their job.
Right, but look at Dallas Keuchel's comments about the team.
I love the comment.
He was like,
you know what I love about the comment, though? You know what I love about it?
We're being soft.
But you know what I love about the comment? And James McCann talked about it. One of my favorite players on the Sox. Dallas approached the team and said, "I'm going to go say this," which was something the media, like when you heard it on TV, he already had told the players. So everybody in the clubhouse was not like, "Whoa, what's Dallas saying?" They already knew it. I think that's a problem.
When I want to talk to the media, I address the player first.
I know, but there's a lot of people like Dallas could have gone to the media first, and then
you have no idea. You have no idea what my dad would be effing the players and telling JD or telling you guys are whatever, and then it would come on the media and they were like, "Oh my God, Ozzy threw me under the bus." But the players already knew.
No, but that's what I believe about Dallas, and that's how you gain respect. The fact that he told his teammates and then he told the media. That little thing right there of him going to the media first,
right? And I don't think they're gonna, they're whatever team, but Dallas took it upon himself.
But that's how you teach how to win.
But you know what?
It's not his job, but I love it.
Exactly. And the manager kind of got left behind the scenes. Like, I think Dallas Keuchel, he comes from a winning environment. He goes, you know what? We suck right now, and we're just going through the motions.
Okay.
And there's guys, I think that he kind of threw it to a little Moncada. There's guys over here that are kind of just coasting, just going through the motions. Oh, whatever. There's a difference, everyone. There is a big difference between going out to play every day, whatever, and there's guys that go out to play to win. There's guys that go out to play to win.
Okay, last 4 years, the White Sox just play to make the money or to go through the season. All of a sudden, boom, we have to win. They don't know how. They don't know how to play.
Right, you got to make that switch.
Now they bring somebody. He was there in the past. He said, wait a minute. By the way, that not happened just for 10 days, 10 games.
No, it's happening for a while.
No. Somebody told him, "Hey man, we tired of this. No matter the manager never say anything, the coach don't say anything. We tired.
He's tired. He's tired of the manager saying, "Oh, it's not a big deall. We're not panicking."
Yeah.
This guy's like, "What do you mean? I mean, we are losing games that we need to win."
Let me then somebody in that ball club. He's been with the ball club for a little while. He said, "Man, we seen this thing every day. Let's go back there. Let's go back there." The guy said, "Wait a minute." Now he's seeing himself. He said, "Oh, wait a minute. I didn't come here to waste my time."
There's opponents, okay, and there's teams out there. You're gonna go play a top opponent. This happens in any division, in any team.
This is the first series. The first series it was.
And you lose 2 out of 3 versus the Twins, but it was 2 out of 3, like grinded out last season.
You're okay with that?
You walk out and you say, "Man," because that's the opponent that you're trying to beat. But there's other teams that you got to go in and say, "This is like there's no room that they should not." Right now, and both teams are like that. I think the Cubs have made the difference of, are you closer to the top or are you closer to the bottom? The Yankees are like, everybody else is under us. So if you start playing baseball, like hanging in games with like Kansas City, Detroit, you're like, am I in the middle?
We're better than
like you look when they're playing the Pirates, they're just destroying them. Like
exactly.
They're like, I'm gonna try the game early.
The Cubs right now have no.
No, so like they
just grab the Indians.
I'm just saying, but they're taking it to a level of like, okay, we're here on the top 5, and that's when I think you build a team of like, okay, now we're getting playoff mentality ready. And before we wrap up the show, I think that's what's going to be important is this second part of the season, especially with COVID, is right now you don't know. There's injuries and then there's COVID. You don't know when like that guy's going to go down. So God forbid a leader like Keuchel or Rizzo or somebody goes down. Somebody needs to step up and go there because we're in the game today of baseball that the media doesn't consider the managers to have to be leaders. Okay, the reason that I was mad about the Syntron thing is you put Dusty in a situation where Dusty now has to deal with another issue because I know Dusty cares about.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't feel this before. I feel horrible for Dusty Baker. And I'm glad that he got another year of contract.
I think they get another year because they realize
what he's
the pressure.
Not only there's no fans, but not only what he's dealing with is there's no fans, and they feel. No, but I'm saying also and they're not doing that well. He said to the reporter the other day, he's like, "This is a nightmare."
No, I'm saying, but I think from a baseball guy, like you hit my guy, I gotta hit your guy. So now you have to kind of like put that like.
And by the way, Alex Cintron is like one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
By the way, I gotta say this.
And
him hiding behind.
He looks terrible. And I told him and his ex-wife, I said, Alex, you did fine, but the hiding, that's what ruined you. And he said, you know what he told me? Because he's hilarious. I don't know if I can translate it. He's like, estaba enfumado con el juego. Like he's like, I was so hyped into the game that I didn't realize until after. Like, what did I just do? And that's what Dusty said. Like, I have remorse. He has remorse.
Oh yeah, he
has remorse. He felt like when it was happening, like, oh crap.
Because Dusty's played, and that happened.
So
even Laureano, when he said I shouldn't have gone after him because I think that Alex is a loser, is like if he goes up there with a fresh mind, he wouldn't charge.
Anyone out there, we've been talking about this for the last 2 or 3 months. The Astros are human. Jose Altuve is a human. He feels. He goes to sleep.
I think he feels more than most.
Yeah, he goes to sleep at night, and it bothers him. And now he's playing.
By the way, you know why I think it bothers him? I think now the bunny with 2 strikes.
He is an
I think he's
exactly. So everyone out there, when you guys think that
no, you guys with 2 strikes.
Yeah, Jose. Okay, but hold on. Jose Altuve is I heard he's an amazing guy. He is an unbelievable baseball player. That's the power that you guys have. That's the power that the fans have. This guy, there's no fans.
And because hitting 180.
Because of everything that happened the year before, this guy is not himself. And Dusty knows that. They gave him a day off because there was a day off the next day. No, that is how bad he is mentally. And that is the power that you guys have and the fans. Just imagine when there's fans there. The Astros, because now people are dumb and people are petty, what the Astros are going to go through next year is they can't wait to play in Houston because they are going to get bombarded. They are going to get killed.
He used to call Barry Bonds and say, "How did you
deal with this?" Because there was only one guy that I know that AJ Brzezinski, he'd walk around. He loved being booed. He grew, and he was like, you know what, whatever.
No, but he needs to become that player because now you became the nemesis
for the rest of your life in baseball. You, Alex Bregman, and anyone on those Astros teams with this fan, I don't know because.
You have to take the persona of a heel.
Exactly. And Jose is, if you look at his face, he's not used to it. And it is affecting him. And the fact that every team has a problem with the Astros. And Laureano's doing great. And they lowered Joe Kelly's suspension from 8 to 5, which is really great to see.
By the way, again, Major League Baseball.
But and my dad didn't think it was going to happen. Baseball will take care of itself. Guys are human. They see the Astros and they have a problem.
But why Major League Baseball is going to punishing people because of COVID? He should punish the people because they fight.
But you know why? Because it's Major League Baseball.
And it's a rule.
And it's a rule. And Major League
Baseball is you can play. You can be in the ball together. You can talk in the outfield. But you cannot be close and fight.
Correct. Because Major League Baseball has dumb rules. They're the kings of dumb rules. Any league, I feel like the people that make the rules are not. If you or anything, like the rules are okay. So
the rules.
European soccer, NBA.
You got few Major League great former managers in those things. I don't know if they agree with Torre. No, Torre, Leland.
Well, there's a guy in the NFL right now. That tried to sneak in a girl.
No, but
as a player,
he was released. So you know why that's good though. But he's in a bubble like everybody else. Major League, but if he was so that player was a baseball player and he was at home, it would be allowed. But if he was on the road, it wouldn't be allowed. That's the difference. At least the NFL and the NBA, everybody's on the same rules. But now, you don't think competitive advantage? And I want to go. Someone give me the analytics record. I'm moving away.
But the hotel bar's open. What would you be doing right now?
At the hotel bar.
You can't go. You can't leave.
And now in the NBA,
you're beautiful hotel bars. In NBA, you can have guests. 3 guests
in the hotel
that come with you. So your wife, your kids, but
entourages.
But my dad wouldn't have a tough time because he'd have the hotel bar, in restaurant and everything. But these guys are trying to bring people. They're trying to bring people. They're sneaking women. By the way, dress them up as guys.
So when we wrap on this, please let Clevenger keep your heads up. This new one, MLB, everyone that's going down on them, look yourself in the mirror and see what you kind of live. They're going to get past this. If the Indians make the mistake of trading these guys,
no, they're not. They're not. Terry Francona.
The Cubs will take
Terry Francona is not dumb.
As the Cubs will take them.
I mean, literally, there's 12 guys on the Indian staff. Not only starting pitching, everyone on their staff can pitch. If that team could hit a little bit, I would say they're the team to beat.
So thank you so much. Another week with being Guillén. You guys saw Adela running around today. Thank you so much for being with us, the Guillén family here on La Vida Baseball.
1, 2,
I don't know how to do it. By the way, somebody don't show up to play golf today.
Yeah, me and Raja. Raja was at.
Raja, he's probably hungover.
No, Raja was at BJ's party. Happy birthday, BJ.
BJ, happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah, big 5-0.
Big 5-0.
And he was like, "Oh my God, I can't play. The most beautiful women are here at this party." I said, "Raja."
Everybody's beautiful girl too.
Exactly. I said, "Raja, I'll be there Tuesday and Wednesday next week."
That's my friend from Ocho y Más, Bobby Allende, Marquiñones. Ahí. There we go. You're running.